Hello, sexy souls. Okay, well, people, what is that? Get in here. I am going to clean off. I cleaned it off. I did. I cleaned it off, and it still looks, that's okay. Like the light is okay, right? So obviously we know it's Sunday morning, nice and early. So I come on looking like this, like a hot mess. I got my jammies on, guys. This is how we doing it, right? If you come in here looking for hotness, you in the wrong place. Just gonna FYI you. And I don't own professional lighting, so this is the reason why I look like I have zero tan, and I have some tan. I don't know what's going on, but anywho, so I use my big lamp that has like 5 little things. Okay, so I have my coffee. This is coffee and tarot, okay? And my coffee's here. It's ready. It's whatever's. I'm getting really annoyed by not having my candles, but I ruined my coffee, I think. Like I had half a coffee left, and I was like, I'm going to milk this bitch and bring it in with me. So I heat it up. I add more coffee to it. I try to doctor it, put a little more cream or everything, and I don't know what I did to it. So I have this as backup, right? Okay. And at some point, I will probably switch to matcha. I don't know. It's the Gemini in me. Okay. Let's deal with this. So, alrighty. Also, for those who do join, because it usually takes a couple of minutes and everybody gets on. I look good. Just saying. We have our after party today. So I will be sending out the link for that for those who join in the after party. So, anywho's, let me walk around here because I feel very naked without my candle. And it's starting to really creep me off. I know you can hear me because under my computer is my little it's my, God, what is this damn thing called? It's like a little cart. It's my spiritual cart. It's got all my stuff in it, like crystals and all kinds of things and stuff. And I'm like, guys, I cannot do this. I have a fucking candle, y'all. But like my son got it for me, and it's this. And it's, I just took the lid off and I tasted it. I can't fucking do it. Oh, I love him to pieces. But his nose, I tell you, I'm gonna let him take it. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. It tastes like I just ate some of those Febreze thingies. You know, those things that you put in your dryer, to make things smell better, which I never do because my body can't handle that shit. Like, when you spray a smell good in the air and you open your mouth and it lands on your tongue on accident? That's what it reminds me of. And it gets on my nerve. So today, I will go get my damn candles. I can't stand it. I have my water. I've got my water. I've got everything. I've got stuff I need. So anywho. All right. So I need some help because Spirit was channeling a song to me repetitively. And I know the song, right? So I'm in it. And as soon as I realize, oh my God, that's it. Like there's something to that. Like, when something goes incessantly and you're like trying to like ready your energy and everything else. I don't know if y'all read or anything else like that. But so it comes through like just back to back to back to back to back to back. And then as soon as the realization, oh, that's a channel, like I'm channeling, like that's supposed to be a part of something. And then it's all of a sudden like my human brain goes, what song is that? And as soon as I do that, it starts adding in all kinds of fucking lyrics that are not the song. And so now I'm trying to Google it, like to get the name of it, because that's where the title for this came from. And I cannot find it. So I need your help. Okay. I feel like it's a remade version that I'm hearing of this song. And it's, I'm gonna lift you up. never hold you down, or like I'm not gonna hold you down, or nothing can hold me down. And da 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 da. Like I don't fucking know. Like those are the only lyrics now because what happens now, my brain wants to go, oh, I got it, and it keeps giving me Natasha Bedingfield's song, the feel the rain on you. I'm like, that's a completely different song, brain. Stop that shit. So I'm gonna lift you up, never hold me down, or never hold you down. I'll tell you why. I feel like it's something like that. It's something like that. And when I Google it, none of the right, it's a female that sings it. It's a very poppy song. I want to say it probably came out in the early 2000s or maybe 2010s. It's been out for a hot minute, like a long while, but it's not like an 80s song or even a 90s song. So I'm over here going, yeah, but okay, am I wrong? Because I swear to God, it's a female singing in my head. I'll lift you up, never hold you down. I'll tell you why. It's a very beboppy song. I swear to God. I don't know. I'll pick you up when you're feeling down. Okay, Shirley, we need fucking help. Okay. Like there's a million songs apparently with that lyric in it. I'm like, who knew? Who knew? Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Like I can't do it. I swear to God, it was going in my head perfectly until my brain goes, "Oh, let's figure out what song that is," and then my brain want to be all like, you know. We're doing what is it called? A general read today, guys. That's what Coffee and Tarot is. It's a general read. So, it's nice and early where I'm at. It might be evening. I don't know. Get your little cup. I fucked up my coffee. I had drank some and then it was like half full. So I wanted to make more. And then I doctored it because I figured it needs more creamer and sugar. And so I have this with it. And later, we're doing the after party today, guys. I have a link that I'm going to send out to those that had already RSVP'd and have already connected with me on Instagram. So afterwards, we get to do the after party if you want to join. Is it playing for you? Never give you up? Thank you, Rick Astley. Why does this sound like a female? We's about to go in here and figure this out. It's not an old song. Okay, hold on. I'm about to listen to it, guys, for 2 seconds. Okay, that way I don't, because they like to be giving you like. I know this song. This is not the one. But maybe the one I have in my head is a remake. No, it's not a remake. It's like a almost like a someone like a club song, like like you go out clubbing to. That's the 80s song. I know that one very well. Like that's why I said, how is there that many songs with that lyric in it? How? There were some Christian songs that came up, like Jesus gonna lift you. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. When I figure it out. But the biggest piece was never gonna let you down, never gonna let me down. I'm gonna lift you up, never gonna let you down. Something to that effect. It just kept going over and over again. So we'll figure it out. Okay. We on a ride. Kels, I'll be sending out a link later for the after party so we all can join in and do our little sesh that we had talked about where we can all talk, about things and process and that kind of stuff afterwards. So that we're not boring YouTube with our shit. I don't know. It's like it must have been like some kind of a remake version of that because the one that I have in my head is like a 2000 early 2000s song. It's like one of those that you would dance to, but it's not that. It has none of the 80s sound to it. It sounds more techno in my head. But maybe the words are the same. It's something about never. He said never going to give you up, but this one is I will help lift you up, never let you down. It's something about lifting up. I don't know. And it pisses me off that my brain decided to chime in. She should know better than to chime in before the coffee's kicked in. What the fuck? She get on my damn nerves sometime, I tell you. So, anywho's, so let's just focus on that. Never gonna let you down. I'm never gonna let me down. Whatever the fuck it is. I'm not really sure why that's coming through, so let's just ask. Let's find out what it has to do with anything. I'm feeling drawn. Okay, cover your ears. I don't know why, but I'm feeling really. Maybe it's because I don't have my candle going, but I'm gonna ring this, guys. We have a monastery that makes these, that sells these because the family makes them, and so they're handmade to various different tones. So, anywho, so cover your ears. I cleanse like this sometimes, guys. I know there's better. Some people like those little ting. This has very special meaning. I was guided to that fucker. Went on an adventure one day and found myself in a place and I had been looking for a bell. So it was like meant to happen. So my apologies, guys. We're going to our good old frou-frou deck first, the Divine Doors. Oh, something flipped. And just doing that and trying to I know something. No, it did not. It tried to. I saw it try to. Well, I guess I'll find it if it's... I'm being drawn to this picture for some reason. All right. So I guess today is going to be sporadic, all over the place type of energy. It feels upbeat. This is just like, I'm like on a tangent in my own little world. And everything I say, ADD, kicking in big time, That's where the brain is. A lot of times when I started reading out a certain way, and I'm like, why is it like this? I wasn't like this beforehand. It's because I've stepped into the energy of something. And so it's trying to tell me something. So I'm trying to go through it. And I'm like, okay. So somebody's brain may just be like, ding, 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 ding. You may have a lot of things that are stimulating your brain. Like, like there's certain like little kids, like when little kids, they go into an environment that's brand new, that's whatever, and it's like ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah ah, kind of thing. And so they're like all over the fucking place, and they're not finishing anything specific, because that's kind of what it felt like. It was like my brain was wanting to go, and my brain was trying to fill it in, like, ooh, what about this? And it's like maybe your brain, your ego, your mental realm is trying to get ahead of itself a little bit, you know, like not really sticking with something to see it through, to have a good understanding of it. 'Cause it has that feeling, right? Like I was trying to focus on the song, and then my brain was like throwing in shit that had nothing to. It's like getting distracted, is what it feels like, but not in like a almost like you're getting very stimulated by multiple things, um, several things interesting you, like sparking your interest, or you know, after you've been bored for a while and you get out and you start like shit starts happening, like after winter, right? You know, winter you're in your house a lot and everything because it's so damn cold and you don't want to get out. In the United States, January and February are kind of like a lull period because it's after Christmas, so you ain't got all the money in the world necessarily for certain people. And then of course, like there's all kinds of stuff that happens. October's fall, so we have festivals galore and pumpkin patches and just different things that people can do. The fall leaves, people are getting out. Then November comes around and people are out doing stuff, getting ready for the other set of holidays. Then December happens and there's all kinds of festivities and different things that you can do. So there's stuff to do. And then it goes quiet because we're usually like, for a lot of us, not all of us in the United States, like there's a lot of snow. So it's like, you know, when you come out of that period and it's like, yes, there's so much to do. And it's like your brain's like this. And there's not like a jack of all trades type of energy. There's a and no sticking with, I guess, one particular thing, or maybe it's not that you're not sticking with it, you're just moving too quickly from one thing to the next. That might be it. Moving too quickly from one thing to the next because like there's this excitement for this stimulation. Your brain is stimulated somehow for some reason. Moving quickly from one thing to the next, brain is very stimulated. But also the energy of filling in the gap, like your brain is trying to say, okay, well, what about this now? What about this? Like your brain is trying to put, we've talked about this, like when your brain tries to complete the story, when you're getting bits and pieces, right? And so your brain tries to fill in the gaps. That's what it feels like my brain was doing earlier. I keep saying brain instead of your mind. Okay. All right, let's get with this. I have to figure out the energy sometimes first, so I know it. Somebody is stepping out of a comfort zone. I'm getting heavily. Like this feels like actually something happening. Well, this would make sense with the whole like feeling like there's been a lull, like winter, and then finally you're getting out and you're doing all kinds of stuff, kind of thing. We're going to pull another one, they said, but we've got wander and seek the familiar, friendly, kind, draw memories and sketches for others to find. So this is all about getting out, having fun, and creating memories. This is enjoying oneself, being stimulated again, right? That's kind of along the lines of that. But the fact that this is coming out, and we've had hints of this before in other readings, and I've been picking up on a theme of this, and I'm like, something's going to happen around this for somebody. And I think that they want to have a conversation with this, about this, okay? It says, begin here. Do not fear what travel brings. The moment is yours. Okay, so it says, do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now, here. And I think that they actually fucking for real mean travel for somebody. Like there is, it's either a move or like somebody getting out and doing a bunch of different things. But it feels like it's tied to something because the way it's coming across is it's not just somebody going out and just going here, there, and everywhere and all that kind of stuff. It's tied to something. Like it's purposeful, right? It's not like, oh, you're entering a time in life where you're just going to plan a bunch of day trips and you might go out for the weekend, travel somewhere for the weekend. Like I think it's tied to something intentional. that's creating the travel or the move. And the excitement of being in this newness wherever you're going has you, it says, seek the familiar and friendly kind. It's like you're getting out and doing stuff. Hence the excitement of all over the place. Okay, what is the last one that she wanted to... Okay. It's funny how I don't like most frou-frou cards, but these frou-frou cards always give me something. Time here turns to release and unfurl. Old cords of pain fade as the sun's light burns. What is that, a sonnet? Because none of that fucking... Time here turns as the sun's light burns. And like the sun is setting on something. Like the time for something has ended. Is what I'm getting from that. The time for something has ended and something new is about to begin. And it has everything to do with, there's a change, like a physical change. Like I feel like environmentally in your life, 3D travel, like there's some kind of something associated with getting away from, but it's purposeful. There's something intentional attached to it. So it's not just you making the decision to get out and socialize again. Like we're gonna go the Hermetic Tarot right here. All right, we are on a... Oh my God. I don't know why. Okay, so today's the day of random weird shit coming into my head to help me explain this thing. I just heard there's a kid's cartoon called Little Einsteins on Disney, and they go, climb aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find, little Einsteins. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Somebody may be flying. Okay, so this is travel. This is very much so travel. That's very specific, but it feels like, it doesn't feel like this is like a singular energy. I think this is going to hit with several people, actually. See, that's why I guess it didn't feel like just little day trips or something. There's something very specific tied to it. And something about this is going to mark a time where old things stop. And I think that's what they mean by the old cords of pain fade, because it's like as the sunlight burns, meaning that the sun sets, like the sun is setting on something. So whatever this new is that's marked by some kind of travel or move, you may be moving home, it's like going from nothingness to your brain being like, oh, like being so excited with so many different things. Like, look at this, and this. I feel like a kid. I feel like a kid with that. Three of Pentacles. Lord of material work. This is like, you're being very direct today. Very literal. What did I just, did something flip? Okay. Why do I keep feeling like something is flipping and it's, no, it did. Something fucking did. Two of Swords. Lord of Peace restored. No fucking shit. Gotta say it's very in your face. I feel like there is some kind of work-related trip for some people. Or work may be the thing behind the move, the need to fly somewhere. I know a lot of y'all are like, oh my God, there's no way that can happen, but, or something that has to do with your material world. This could even be like, you can't find a job. Guess what? In order to find one, you're going to have to move. You need to go somewhere else. You may come to that conclusion, like, I'm not going to be able to find what I need here. And so you close the door on all this shit and you're like, let's go. Two of Swords is usually like, this is a choice between two directions and having to just go with your gut on something. Normally when I have two swords crossed, it's like the truth is somewhere in the middle for me, but they're saying that this is like two truths coming together. Okie dokie. We're just going to keep going. You're not giving a lot of Two of Wands. Two of Wands. Okay, for whoever this is, there's a truth in your life that you need to not be where you're at right now in order to prosper. I was going to say find work, and prosper just fucking came out. So there you go. They're taking over now. So you know that that's one of the truths. The truth is I've got to move. I've got to leave. I've got to go somewhere else. Or whatever it is that you're looking and seeking for, or what you've been waiting for, isn't where you're at. So we've had a lot of readings where we talk like somehow something's going to happen. It might cross your path. And in some of those respects, it feels like the energy is coming to you. Like there's not really a lot that you have to do. But for some of those where something's meant to cross your path, and I've read this before, but not as much. And so maybe they're going to touch on this a little bit more, where it feels like there is like you need to be somewhere else. Like you've got to get where somewhere else, whether it's through a trip or through actual move, you know, for you to find what is meant to cross your path. And it directly links to your material world. So probably your finances, your status, your whatever you're trying to build, like building up your finances, material work, or a job, something to that effect, like you know, Three of Pentacles, someone's working to get to a certain place, to a certain status. Like they're trying to build their life, right? To get to that foundation. In traditional Rider-Waite, he's creating something. It's a collaborative effort. He's creating something. He's working with others. His craft is on display for everybody to see. And so it's like your craft. It absolutely has to, I feel like work is heavily related. So we have, and then with the Two of Wands, it's like taking actions for that. So if you know your truth is that you have to go somewhere else to find what it is that you're looking for. And because it's not going to be here. Like it's just not going to cross your path. Like, let's use me. Like, remember last time we did a reading, I talked about how I was like, I just know my person's not here. Like whoever I'm going to be is not where I'm at. So it makes it very difficult for me to want to just date. I'm like, I like at a soul level know that the motherfucker ain't here. And so in order for me to ever cross paths with that motherfucker, either they gonna have to be just a traveling, which where I'm located, not many people just to travel to. It's not, you know, once in a while, once a year, we have this big event that people come to. But I'm just saying, you know, and so it's like I'd have to be the one to get out to maybe cross paths. Or like work, like you know, we've talked about me not being able to find certain types of work. I mean, there's work, you know what I'm saying? And so like, it's just not here. Like the market here is shitty. Just going to say it's shitty in a lot of places, but it's very shitty here. And so like that kind of thing, like this need to go somewhere else to get what it is that you're looking for, what you feel like you've been waiting for, because they keep showing me the Kipper card from here. It's called expectation, where she's kind of like in that liminal space, just waiting. Like, knows to expect something and is waiting for this thing, but it's like there's an element maybe from the last, I know they're giving me, okay, this is not what that reading was about, but they're giving me that little title. Remember, a tiny little detail. Like there's just a tiny little detail that you're overlooking, and it's maybe the fact that you've got to do something to get yourself out, and that doesn't mean that the two are related, because that one had everything to do with like love or some shit or work. Well, it had something to do with work too. But well, anyways, so they're feeding me a bunch of little blip, 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 blip things, and so it's literally like, so the truth is, it's not here, and the other truth is, that you have to be the catalyst, or you have to do, like, you have to give yourself the opportunity to consider it, to get away, to whatever it is. And so it's like those two things coming together lead you to doing something, right? Like whatever you've been doing hasn't been working, or just sitting here hasn't been working. And this might fall in line with the say yes. We had a reading like that. Just say yes, like yes. Don't say no, like yes. Yeah. And so you have to take action on that. So it's literally following your gut, right? You have to follow your gut on this. So if you get presented, like this is like somebody gets presented with potential for work, but you'd have to move. Say yes. Like, intuitively, you ain't gonna find something here. You've got to go and do something. It's time to shut shit down here and move along, right? But you're actually gonna have to choose to take action towards that. Two of Wands. Because the Ace of Wands is the idea, the notion, the desire, that spark, the passion. And Two of Wands is always, the twos are always about just like something in regards to choosing, right? Doing. So it's like, Two of Swords is the decision, the mental part. What do you do after a decision? It's not a decision if you don't act on it. Otherwise, it's just a fucking idea, right? So Two of Swords to the Two of Wands, you have to take action towards it. And yes, it absolutely will shut something down. So for whoever this is, they're being exceptionally literal. And I don't know if you just fucking need that right now, because every little thing is like, I don't have to read too much into it. It's being very literal for me. Ten of Swords is all about shutting down a really tough cycle. It is the end of a cycle. You go from the Ten of Swords to the Ace of Swords, right? So the sun is setting on whatever, because where you're at ain't working. It just ain't working. It's not giving you what you need. It feels like where you're at, and this could be job too. Like you may need to completely uproot yourself and move to a different job. But it just feels, because I'm getting travel, and it's no joke that they give me something where about getting into a rocket, like flying in the sky, going on an adventure. So to me, that says that whatever it is creates distance between you and your past. Okay. I love readings like this. I'm like, bitch, yes. Thank you. Okay. All right. Hold on. The end also eliminates a lot of struggle for you. Like once you choose and take action towards this, once you say yes, like so much is lifted off of you, because you're leaving that anxiety and stress behind. Whatever the fuck situation you've been in has been stressful as shit. Let's take a look. Woo, baby. Wheel of Fortune. I shit you not. Wheel of Fortune. Like, this is the one door closes, another opens. Like the time to close out that old chapter and move forward and create new memories and get excited and to start now. Like, it's like, don't fear it. Whatever it is, don't fear what travel brings. Don't fear. There's a lot of newness. I feel like whoever this is for, it feels like I'm being completely uprooted. How something feels and what it looks like may not be completely exact, right? Because you don't have to leave your country, you don't have to leave your province, you don't have to leave your city just to feel like you have been completely uprooted and transplanted as something new. Like this is like like imagine going to a new neighborhood to start a new job, and being far enough away where you can't just run back to your family and see them on a regular basis, and like your where you're going to live is completely, the size is different, the shape is different, so your belongings don't necessarily like I'm even seeing like new belongings kind of thing, like there's a lot of new with it. There's a lot of transition that happens with this, basically, is what they're trying to show me. That's why Wheel of Fortune, like that 180 type of feeling. So it's going to have a lot of transition to it. So it's almost like, this one decision and taking action towards it um, creates so much change. It's like a domino effect. They're showing me like a circle. Have you ever seen those things where people will put like dominoes or cards or something, and it looks like this really beautiful shape, and it's like a circular shape. And so one thing hits, and there's like 4 or 5 different lines that start swirling around until everything falls down and creates a completely new picture. And it's like this amazing thing to watch it, where it just like so they're showing me not just one singular line where I go like that with dominoes. They're showing me like a multitude of lines intertwining and that kind of stuff, and so they're all hit at once, like you hit one card and all of those go like this. It's funny because what the 10 of Swords is, we're shutting down something like a very tough cycle, or like, because it says old cords of pain fade as you do this, like you're releasing all kinds of stuff. So there's a level of excitement that comes with this. You're shutting down old shit that kept your wounds going and things like that. It's like a fresh start. It feels like a complete fresh start. But because it is a stark difference, it brings in so much new. Like I feel like even your daily routine, you have to figure that out again, right? Like, because when you're in a familiar environment, you can walk to such and such coffee shop at this time. You can always do it. Like you have to reestablish everything, is what it feels like. So when I tell you, whoever this is for, and I'm sorry if it's not for you, because sometimes we like to live, but this is a very future casting. We're not even going in too much, and we might at some point, to the whole, like, because some of these readings get very in-depth, where like spirit really just wants to talk to you about what you need to do to follow this, and how you can move along and all that kind of stuff. But like they're really like, and sometimes it's beneficial for them to go, FYI, this shit's about to happen. Okay. Or sometimes it's important for them to go, that friend you thought was da 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 da, you need to pay attention to that. Like sometimes you need those very specific messages. This is very specific. So I apologize for those that you're like, there's no way. I mean, this is future casting. Maybe you don't know yet, but there's a move, a trip, a going somewhere, and it's not a short distance. It does not feel short, even though I keep trying to likening it just in case. But for me, in the energy, I feel like I'm going somewhere, like going. And so you get to leave behind the stress of your old circumstances. And something tells me that your old circumstances, your old haunts, your old places, the comfort zones, everything that you've been existing in your current environment, something about it still has an energy mark of your old pains, because it doesn't feel like you haven't worked through shit, and that you got like this gaping wound. But everybody knows, like, when people say it's hard to heal an environment that you were traumatized in, because when you are trying to exist at this frequency, right, and everything around you is fighting against that. Like the energy that surrounds you in your home, in your work life, everything, it does like it's it requires a lot of work for you to maintain your energy when everything around it, like with water, because we are made of water. Let's remember that. Water will take on the frequency of the energy that's around it, or that's being infused into it, right? So there are people that will play frequency music for water and then check the molecular structure of the water. We've seen the studies where they speak negative intentions and negative energy into water and watch how it forms crystals under a microscope and things like that, right? To see the difference between a harmonic state and chaos, right? So the energy around you, it's really, and that's why they say you are who you surround yourself with, because the energy around you will, if all the energy around you is operating at a different frequency, it's going to be very difficult for you to maintain. And sometimes all our energy, all of ours, can go to just feeling like we're sustaining. And that's why we're not progressing, right? Because I'm treading fucking water, just trying to keep myself at this peaceful level and not being impacted. Like it takes everything. That's why we talk about like evil eye, or people sending you negative energy, or, things like that, because you will spend a lot of your time. And this is why people will do it, right? Like not because they can actually do something drastic to you, but if someone's sending you nasty ass energy, speaking things over you, and you're having to tread water to get rid of it, like if your energy is wasted trying to remove that consistently and trying to harmonize within yourself, then where's your energy to propelling forward? A lot of times that's meant to keep you in place rather than do something nasty and dirty to you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you are in an environment that you're like, this is not conducive to where I'm going, who I am, or what I want to, the frequency I want to vibrate at, then you're treading water currently. And that's the reason why you need to move from where you're at and get out of that, so that that environment, those that surround you, even if it's a particular society or a particular neighborhood, like I'm telling you right now, people who grow up in certain circumstances, there's more than just the lack of opportunity, even though that's massively a reason, right? But there's more than just the lack of opportunity as to why it's difficult for them to get out of situations, because so much of their energy is expended on survival mode, trying to keep their head above water energetically also. And so they're like, why am I so tired? Even because you're still working when you're not working. That's why. So for whoever this is, I did not see this reading going this direction. But I guess that's why the song said, I'm going to lift you up. That's why it said the word lift instead of I'm never going to give up on you. I'm going to lift you up. Never going to let you down. I don't know. I'm telling you guys, like my brain now, but those were the words. I heard them. I heard other words, but my brain started filling shit in that, So there's something about maybe this happening is Spirit's way of lifting you up. Like we're not going to let you down. It's time to lift you up out of this situation. And so whatever's about to transpire is your opportunity. Because it feels like to me you have said, Spirit, I'm trying my best and I can't get anywhere. I have to have help. And I feel like it seems like there's an agreement that like your efforts that you're making right now in any other, like maybe in a different area would be productive, but wherever you're at, it's not. And you're going, this is crazy. There's no way that it can be like this. This is sounding very familiar. I'm pulling in some other things. Wow. Okay. I actually just had this conversation the other day. So it's weird that I didn't see this going this way, but okay. So, it's like, and because this is a co-creation. So you do need to take action, right? You need to be doing things and participating in the creation of this. Spirit can't just walk through your window and give it to you. And so it's like, and there's things that need to come your way. But when you're distracted with just treading water, just trying to stay even keel, Spirit's like, okay, this ain't working for either one of us. Like I'm trying to be the helpful, and so before whatever it is that you want can come in, either or attached to whatever you want to come in, like what you've been working towards, there is a move. There is I could even see somebody traveling for a period of time, like a week, and shit comes in. It's like you can't even receive the downloads that you need to because of the energy that's around you. And so there's a physical need to remove you from that circumstance so that at least something can come in. And I have a friend who does this. She does two of them, actually. They do selling activations. So they have this, it's like a week-long excursion where they take you to various grid lines on the earth and do different activities. And it's like a spiritual experience the whole fucking week. But they keep you out at sea, ocean, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. I did this with them. We were out. I just tell you, this is when I went to Italy, and we were visiting the Aeolian Islands. But there's something about salt water and not like there won't be any psychic interference then. Like channels are the most clear near water, especially salt water. And this is even true where certain governments like to have little stations out in the middle of the ocean because a lot cannot be picked up on and there's less interference out there. I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to, but I'm just saying, spiritually speaking, when you are near salt water or things like that. And so we would go on this, we would literally go out and it's like your channel is crystal clear and the interference and the energetic gunk for allowing things to come up, and we would process. They're just doing daily activities. That's where we climbed the volcano too. Actually, one was a dead one, but it was still steaming. I mean, the sulfur smell, woo! And you could even jump into like the sulfur beds, like the mud. But we were warned that you will smell like that shit for the rest of the week, and sometimes that smells like a rotten egg fart. Just saying. We opted out of that one. And then I will post a video, guys. I will post a video on here. We went and we climbed a live volcano, and oddly enough, it erupted like a month after we left or a few weeks after we left. And it's erupted again since then. But it was active. Like we were watching it spew and spit up and burp or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So that's just so for anybody who wants to know. And I've done a reading on for them before, and I'm connected with them on Instagram. But it's Antonina, and then also Paula. I mention her frequently. They do these sailing activations in case anybody wants to know and look into that. So it feels like. And so much transformation comes from that 1 week. I came back feeling like I knew things that I was fighting to learn, right? And I just needed to get the fuck up, out of, and get somewhere where, and here's the other thing, and I keep telling this to my son, who's 19, that there are certain areas on this earth that we will not do well at because it keeps us in disharmony. We are in alignment with certain energetic points, grid lines, of this earth. And I even talked to LP about this one time, and he was like, I feel like I belong here, like I thrive there, and here I don't, and and we talked about that. It's funny, this is coming up. Oh, maybe some of this is for him. I don't know if he's here. Is he here? Is he fucking here? I don't know if he's here. That's funny. I've been having this conversation, so this might be even for like some of the people that I know. And so my son feels like he has a certain sleep pattern. And I was like, if you were in such and such location, that you would actually be going to bed at a quote unquote normal time. That your body is trying to tell you something, that you don't belong here, that it is this location that is working against you. And preventing. There are certain locations that even will impact you health-wise. Like your body is not meant to be there. And so you are just in constant survival mode. So this can pan out in very literal and spiritual ways is what I'm trying to say. So this may even just be like needing to uproot you so that you can get clarity on some things and get forward movement, or it could be a fucking move. But either way, it's impacting your material world, your work, your finances, your stability. Okay. And this 180, what they're saying, this 180 is the anxiety that comes with this is strictly because of the newness. Because flanking each side, first off, we've got the 9 of Swords. Remember, and I said you're leaving this old type of anxiety, like this old worry, fear, like feeling like you were just, because we have the 10 of Swords, but a whole different type of anxiety, which I want to say can be misconstrued as anxiety mixed with enthusiasm, because sometimes we can be just excited about something, but the level of excitement can be so intense that we're just like, like anybody who's gone through, okay, if I'm burping, that means just channeling big time. I'm moving energy right now. I know a lot of people, and I've heard some people try to say in the spiritual community, like, I know it sounds weird when people are like, oh, there's that burp is a confirmation. If you deal with any energy worker, some people try to say it's because you're speaking and you're swallowing air. That's not it. Although it could be for somebody. I don't know. Because there are certain energy workers, they never speak a word. I've literally sat with some women before that were doing work on me, and immediately as they get into that and I start moving energy, burping, because energy is flowing through them as well. They're transmuting and changing things and shifting it and moving it around. And so when you do energy work, when you tap into energy, you will do that. I don't know why I felt like I needed to explain that to somebody, but that's a real thing. And it has nothing to do with the speaking part, because there are people who do not speak for what they do. And they will be like burping, belching, and like, So anyways, when you channel, when energy that is not just your own starts to run through you, your body will respond to it, just FYI. So we have the 9 of Swords, which is that like sense of anxiety, but it's all surrounding this newness. We have the Page of Wands. There's a lot of excitement with this change. And because of that, it's like, sometimes like when you first start going through healing, and we all talk about the weird symptoms our body does. Like sometimes we have like the flu-like symptoms because your body is literally purging, right? Even if you're not doing like a cleanse, like your body is purging certain energy, and you can feel like you have the fucking flu. Do you know how many times some of us who have gone through Kundalini awakening, is what we call it, to express the reawakening of life force through us, and when it starts breaking through certain blockages, energetic blockages, you will have physiological symptoms. And I've explained this. I've actually had some while like I've talked to you all about this. And I'll go to the doctor and they will run tests, expensive tests, and we will, just to be sure, because like I'm not one to be like, don't ignore something, it's just spiritual. Bitch, check shit out. You know what I mean? Like, but when everything comes back and you're A-okay, like there's nothing. Like sometimes my heart felt like it was about to come out of my chest. Instead of like the flutters and the butterflies, it felt like it was wriggling, like there was a snake or something in it, and it was going like this. Or one time it felt like it was flipping. Like I have had, or I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, you're fine. Everything from an EKG to a da-da-da, you're fine. I'm like, okay. So the idea of the level of energy of excitement and newness can put you in a place where you're like, I'm not used to this. I haven't been here in a long time. And now my poor human's petrified a little bit and I'm worried, right? It's so new. So when I say you're transplanted and it's like everything is new, and like there's like 10 different domino lines that are going at once, you hit one thing and it sets all this shit off and you're like, but I don't feel like something's being ripped out from underneath you. Does that make sense? It is literally almost like you are walking into this knowingly, because you got the 2 of Swords where you intuitively know and you have to take action toward it. So you're the one taking action towards this, right? It's almost like something presents itself and you have to go there. You have to say yes. And so with that, it's like But, it's like me going to a country I've never been before, not being able to speak a lick of the language and having to have like use something on my app to be able to navigate where I'm going, right? And praying that I'm gonna be able to find somebody that either understands this stupid fucking app that I'm trying to type things into, or someone that actually speaks English. And me trying to figure out the train system, let me just tell you, it was an adventure. It was an adventure. I was even on the train going, am I going the right way? I hope I'm going the right way. Okay? It's that kind of petrified. Like, I am a fish out of water. And if something goes wrong, I'm fucked. I don't know what I'm doing. It feels like that. So that's the kind of anxiety, which is completely different than what you left. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm literally just like I'm trying to keep up because I channel and stuff like that. Okay, so we're not done with this yet, apparently. It's a lot of information. Jeez, we're at a fucking hour already, guys. Seriously, look at what I've got out here. Like, I feel like sometimes they intentionally want me, I'm supposed to tell it like a story. Like, they want me to experience it so I can explain it to you as if I'm experiencing it rather than just spitting facts, right? So we just went on a tangent about, well, these are being very factual. Like, this is a lot of bullet points here. Like, if you ever wanted to be like, Spirit, just get real with me, give me the bullet points. They're giving you bullet points. Okay, I think you put it over here. Okay. Okay. Nine of Swords is not the same old Nine of Swords, not the energy you've been existing in. It's the anxiety is what I want to say, because it's not stress. It's not like, it's just the anxiety of having to step into a 180 or 160, 180, 180. 360 is the full all the way back around right now. 180. I know numbers. So in this, there's this sense of, you're stepping into this like it's the anxiety of the newness and the excitement, because this is like Page of Wands. It's like woo. I feel like saying you can handle this. Like, sometimes something like this will come up and it will, like, we might think that we're operating really well in our energy, like having a mastery over a mental realm. I've got a mastery over my determination, my self-confidence, which is the Wands, right? I've got a mastery over my emotions. I keep that shit in check too. Everything's balanced, I can, manage my circumstances because of that, right? Whatever comes your way. There's a sense of you'll be able to handle this. Because the Seven of Cups in this one feels a lot like so many new things, right? With whatever this is. Remember in the beginning, I was like, my brain's going, like going into a new place as a kid to play. And there's so many awesome things to do. And you're like, ping, 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 like a pinball machine. Ding, 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 ding. You know how they do. And your brain is just going to be like, with all the possibility, with all the newness, and it's like you're not finishing. Sometimes you're not finishing something before you've done hop to the other. Can you imagine moving and feeling like you're being pulled in 20 different directions because there's so many things to take care of now? Like I said, if you move somewhere where you got to find where the grocery store is now, you got to find places where you can get X, Y, and Z. You've got to learn the neighborhood. Driving around isn't the same. You've got to get everything set up in the house, and if you have kids, you got to find the new school, and then you've got to kind of like, like get all your bills updated with where you're living now, and then you've got to like, there's like a million things. That's what this Seven of Cups feels like, right? And then also with that comes all the new things that I can do, right? All the options, all the like, what do I focus on? Because Seven of Cups often can be that confusion card, right? And so there's a sense of feeling like there's a lot to do and feeling pulled in multiple directions and not sure exactly where to focus first. And so sometimes you might start on this and you're like, oh, it reminds me of those damn TikToks, I swear to God, where they tell you what it's like to have ADHD. And I swear to fucking God, this is it. Because in any given moment, you're like, oh, no, this is more important. Like you walk into the kitchen and you're like, oh, damn, I can't clean off the counters because I need to take some of the stuff from the counter and put it in the sink, but the sink is full. So now I got to do the dishes. I open up the dishes and I realize there's clean dishes in there, so I got to start putting them away. So it takes me over here and I realize the garbage can is full. So now I got to take the garbage out. Take the garbage out, come back in. I look under the sink and I realize, I see the drain clog thing, and I go, oh shit, I meant to do that. So I grab it and I go into the bathroom, and I'm in the bathroom and I realize, oh, there's my toothbrush. I didn't brush my teeth. So I put that down and I go brush my teeth. It's like, did you finish something? I don't feel like Spirit's telling you that that's a bad thing. I think this is just how you're going to feel. But you've got it within you to manage this because you're the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Because she's the badass bitch that can do it all, right? She's the one that can manage all of it. She can manage the move, the new job, the trip, this could be the preparation for wherever you're going. If you say yes to something and you're like, shit, now I got to X, Y, and Z, like me, you're going somewhere completely new and you don't know anything about it, and like you've got to find the plane ticket, you've got to find where you're going to be staying, you got to look around, right? Because you need to know where you're heading. Like, am I going to be able to drive a car? What do I need to do? Like there's a lot that goes with it. And then once you get there, the options are endless. Like, what do I want to do? What am I going to do? There's that sense, right? But you'll be able to manage it. You're the Queen of Pentacles. They're saying you've got a good, like, whatever this isn't like, despite having the Nine of Swords and the anxiety that this can induce, the excitement and the newness behind this and the complete 180 of it, can still feel, it's like, you've got this though. You've got this. Like whatever this type of anxiety isn't going to stop you from doing this, right? And it's nothing like the other one. So it pales in comparison. And you've got everything within you to kind of figure this stuff out, okay? But there's an element over here that I'm curious about because we have two things that kind of mean the same thing. I feel like there's a tear. I hear a tear. Eight of Cups, which means this is when you actually walk away from something. And the Four of Cups, which is like, this is a disruption to your stability, even though, right? Like you've wanted out of this situation and it's not good for you, and all you've been doing is fucking treading water, right? Like, at some point you're going to be tired and you're just going to fucking drown. Like, and that even Spirit realizes that. And you've probably been at that point, right? So in your circumstance, because with the Four of Cups, you have that, like, well, I'm picking up a sense of resistance from this. I gotta be honest with you. Only because it's mixed with the Eight of Cups. Because, again, something ends. Like, you're actually having to walk away. And in this scenario, like, whatever this is, if this is a trip, you may know that the trajectory after this trip is going to require you, like, it's going to end some things. Like, shit's going to change. Like, my entire point of going on the trip that I did was because I was ready for that. Like, I knew that's what this was. It was a massive spiritual transformation that I was going through. And I knew that I was going to have a week of women that understood and was operating in the same capacity as me, spiritually speaking. where there were no boundaries and I could go there, right? And when you can unfurl like that without any interference and people are holding space for you to do so, you know you're not going to come back the same, right? But I think there's something very tangible, even with the trip. They're bringing me to this. I don't know if, like, because you choose to do this, it pisses somebody off. I don't know if because you choose to do this, you may end up, like, I feel like you know ahead of time that something about this is it's gonna require you to shut the door on something. I'm feeling like either with people or a job. Like, I don't know why I feel like there might be a person here listening that is like, if you don't let me go on this trip, I'll quit. Like, I'll just go. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, it's to that degree. But saying yes to whatever this is requires you, Eight of Cups, to walk away from other things that other people would love, right? Other people would love, and that maybe at one point you loved. It's just not for you. Like, it really requires you, because in this particular one, these cups aren't necessarily spilled over, but some of them are empty. So you've been pouring into or being surrounded by certain things that are just not for you. They've got no value to add to your life. That's why these cups are empty. And the Four of Cups is all about, you have been discontent with the options that are right in front of you. Like, generally speaking, there's 3 cups in front of you and one comes out from the sky, right? It's almost like you just know that this opportunity comes at a cost. But the funny thing is, this isn't like one of those situations where you want something and then because you go for it, there's unexpected or unintended costs and you regret it later. This is the kind of thing that in order to have this is going to go. Point blank, if you're moving, right? The comfort of where you live, the knowing of everything, the knowing what the people are like, right? Like, because we can all want to live a certain place, but when we get there, it's like, God, are the people? And like, what if I hate the area? What if I hate the way people are there? What if I don't like because you can go to certain cities and it's like, oh, people are, people from in the South United States sometimes don't like going to like places like New York because they will say like those people are so rude, disrespectful, aggressive, like they'll say shit like that, and people in the North will be like, oh, you can tell when somebody's from the South because they're super nice with the way they hold doors, and like people are just rude as fuck in some areas, and you might be like, I can't stand this, I can't live around this. So you may be worried about that, there is a level of comfort, a level of attachment, a level of something that you're having to let go of. And so the Four of Cups is allowing that new option in. Like, this is one door closing, another one coming in. Like, there is no you can't have both in this situation. Like, you can't take whatever you were doing into the new. If you're getting a new job, you can't take the old job with you. Right? If you're moving, I bet you're going to purge a bunch of your shit. Can't take everything with you. This can turn into very tangible things in your life. Like, I feel it's not just about. But again, in the center of all of this is the Queen of Pentacles. And they're like, you've got this. This isn't something that's going to make or break you kind of thing. It's not going to break you. It's not going to break you. It's going to feel uncomfortable for the sheer newness and the level of excitement. You're going to feel like you're kind of being pulled in a bunch of different directions. But they're saying, don't fear what this travel brings. Just begin here. Right? Like, don't even think 20 steps ahead, because your brain might try to do that, like mine was. Let me fill in the gaps. Oh, well, like, I'm trying to figure out what this one fucking song is, and they're like adding a 20 million different things in. And I'm like, what is my brain doing? Just just dumping stuff like it's a soup. Like, just fucking, I'm like, what are you doing? You're making it hard. Oy, oy, oy. And so they're like, just begin here. Do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now here. And the thing is, they're highlighting seek the familiar and friendly kind. So you're actually going to move into a situation that is more in alignment with you, more beneficial for you, and where you're going to feel more at home, which we have talked about, right? And it's like, as soon as you step into this newness, whatever this new option is, and for whoever this is, because like last time it felt like a relationship and somebody was hella resistant. This time it's a move. It is taking or a massive trip that might end up in the opportunity that will close the door on everything else, right? Okay. Anything specific that you want to tell about this whole? Obviously, there is some kind of this trip, the travel. Let's talk about that. The trip, the travel. Let's ask about that, because they came out the gate with that. And it was like, oh, let's free for this. Oh, it's moving on your path. No, it feels very grounded and specific. All right, we're going to try some from the Archangel Tarot. Hey, Terry. Hey, Karen. Oh, for crying out loud. Thank you, Indigo. I appreciate that. I feel like this is a side note, because I feel like I just like you know how you're having a conversation with a group of people, so you're in this energy, but then you kind of step aside and you pull one person, you're like really quick. That's what this is, okay, guys. We have the 8 of Air, which is like mental entrapment, right? Like some type of an illusion, or an illusion of being trapped, like it's not really real. And so someone like afraid to take action because of that, like a low self-confidence thing, which feels so not what they're saying over here. And then came the positive resolution to a conflict or a relationship, the 2 of Cups. Then we have the ego. That sounded like I said eagle, but I said ego. A false sense of entrapment. 2 cards. An illusion of being trapped, a false sense of entrapment, okay? 15 is the devil card, guys. Being overly focused on something or negative or fear-based thoughts. Somebody, in hearing me say this, may be thinking there's no way that could happen, or if that does happen, I won't be able to go for it because of X, Y, and Z. You may have been, as I've been saying this, in your head, a voice, your ego is refuting it. You were thinking of all the ways how, even if you're presented with this, you couldn't say yes, because you're pointing to things in your life that say, this will stop me, this will stop me, this will stop me, this will stop me. And they're saying there's going to be a positive resolution to that. And these 2, there's a positive resolution to whatever this conflict is. Whatever you're pointing to may be very, very You may be like, I don't have the money to move. What am I gonna, that kind of thing. Like there may be something attached to this where you're like, your ego is using something very tangible and real to go and blow holes into whatever this is, what I'm saying. And so you're listening to that. And so it's hard to ignore. And they're saying there's gonna be a positive resolution to this. Because right here it says, carefully weigh your decisions. And this is the Lover's card. So it's all about decision making. And then and the Knight of Fire, which is the Knight of Wands. Events that happen with great speed, but it's also about thinking things through carefully, and time is of the essence. Okay. Give me... It literally says, carefully weigh your decisions. Like be careful. Don't allow that self-entrapment to be the thing that makes you determine. There's a way to have a positive resolution to whatever you think anchors you into your current existence. So we did discuss the energy and environment around you trying to keep you at a particular level. It's almost like it's fighting against you, right? Which can include people, which can include circumstances that have you tied, finances, whatever. So let me make sure. Let me hone in on the question I want to ask really quick. Can you expand on the positive resolution? Can you expand on that? So they're saying that you can't see the positive in this situation. Like you're not seeing how it could work out, right? The Five of Cups, you're only focusing on the way that it can't, and you're missing something. You're missing a way that it could work out. Missing an opportunity. Open your eyes to the possibilities. There, no fucking joke. Five of Cups, Four of Cups. They're saying you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it right now. You're focusing on the negative. The Eight of Swords, the Devil. Like you're focusing. You're entrapping yourself, believing. Your ego's trying to convince you, and because it seems legitimate, you're only focusing on that, and you're like, you don't see all the ways this could work out. You're missing the possibilities in this. The Ace of Earth, the Ace of Pentacles. Like if I try this, all these things could go wrong, but they're like, oh, but what about all the things that could go right? Like what if the positive overshadows anything that's negative? So somebody here is, their ego's chiming in right now. I don't feel like when this happens, I feel someone's going to feel very compelled to say yes. They're going to feel very like they want to. But in this moment, it's like your mind is not allowing you to believe it's a possibility, and it's giving you very real world examples as to why, and it's stopping you from really receiving the message. What do you mean by the Ace of Earth? How's that got to do, how's that the positive resolution? Inflow of abundance, promising venture. Queen of Air, Queen of Swords, objective decision making, seeing the total picture of this. How does this a positive resolution? Though you're not answering my question. How is this a positive resolution? What is the positive resolution? Like, how's that gonna resolve positively? Like, sometimes they get on my fucking nerve. Okay. So I'm like, what is the positive resolution? Victory, good news, success. maybe whatever this opportunity is that requires the travel or the move is the resolution. Like maybe this victory gets you out of the real world things that you think tie you to your current environment. Let's say you're like, I don't have money to move. Well, what if you get a job that if you say yes to, you get to start working from home on it while you pack and move, which means you're making money. And then when it's time to move, you've got the money. And when you get there, like, what if there's a part of this that just, it works itself out? Like the answer to the things that you're saying anchor you in is just actually saying yes to whatever this is actually going for it, going there. Like I have seen people who just say yes and go and plan, and because they say yes to a trip, things just work out. Someone you meet a family and they're like, "Oh, come stay. We have this extra house, or you can stay the night at our house until you find blah blah blah." And so down the street has a Airbnb and da da da. Like other countries do this. This shit happens all the fucking time. Like in just saying yes, all the things that you're like, how work themselves out. Like wrapped up in whatever comes in. Like, what if a job, like you're like, I can't, my kids have school here, this, that, and the other. But if you get a job offer and that helps you to move, or you have it's like a legitimate reason to move, right? I'm thinking of like a scenario where like there's a parent that is struggling to meet all the needs of their kids. And so it's like, I don't really have, I've got kids though. And they're like, that's the whole reason to go. And in doing so, all the problems that you're existing, that your brain is picking up on now, that's where the door is being shut. Like whatever this is, when you go there, will help to eliminate. And if it's just a download, like the thing that's kept you stuck, like you keep thinking, I don't know what, like I'm trapped. I can't do anything about this. I've tried to make this business happen. I've tried to da 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 da. Somehow your answer comes in while you're gone. It's like poof, like whatever cloud has been keeping you. So it's like in the yes is the positive resolution. Okay. So I've given energy to that. Let's just pull out some specifics because we got some stuff to be doing. Fly right out. Terry, you going somewhere? Did you tell me that before? Have you come on and said you're going somewhere? Distance. So this card right here can be about obstacles, absolutely, climb that mountain. But a lot of times it's about distance. Distance. Let's see what they got to say. The garden card, like this is socializing, this is connecting, this is new networks, new community. Like your community, like this is okay. All right. I don't want to just repeat shit either. There's a lot of people showing up. Lots and lots and lots of people. We have two children here. This could be because there are children involved, and that's where your mind's going to, like, oh my God. But they're also pointing out to this. We've got people up here. Like, I'm being like, because children in this deck can be like a new start, something new, something beginning, fresh, that kind of thing. And it's like new people. We got two gentlemen here, and then we've got another gentleman here. Someone may have several kids. Someone may have like co-parent situation, like other parents to these children, and that might be something. And that might be what you think is. There's several people here, and I think that for some of you, people are going to try to be the obstacle that you're thinking of, right, to this. We got the snake, like people you don't trust. And they may be the ones trying to discourage you from, like, because we've got the birds, which is all about communication, speaking your truth, talking about it, saying things. To me, also the birds are like soul level connections as well, though. So for some, it may be you're meeting a bunch of new people, a lot of new people when you do this, right? And someone isn't going to want, like, there's going to be something in the mix that doesn't want you to. Because even on this one, the snake, there's a woman. Like, there's a lot of people here, and everybody feels different. And I just got this. Somebody's going to try, for those who have children, they might try to vilify you. Because I'm getting like a very single female energy, and there's children here, and there's like, multiple individuals. Like, you may be remarried. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know what this is, but I get the sense that they're going to try to vilify you. Like, you're going to be seen as the snake, because you're leaving, you're going somewhere new, you're moving. It's funny because I feel like for those where that's a scenario, some of these are very important connections that they're going to see you like this when you inform them of this change. There's this cutting away, because this life is like you this is part of your harvest, right? You cut things down, you cut something out, but it's also a part of your harvest. Like, a part of your harvest is cutting something out. And so it's like when you communicate this, you're probably going to be seen as the villain, right? But I'm also seeing this as, if there's new people, like somebody doesn't want you getting a new leg up, is what I heard. Like, going somewhere new, or they don't want you to go and have a trip and enjoy yourself. They don't want you to go, like, somebody's going to want to like poo-poo on this, basically. Okay. And that could also mean like just cut all ties and communication with that person. The Eight of Cups could be the cutting away of that individual when they try to poo-poo stuff. Or it could be when you're moving, you're cutting away some of these other things, these other ties. And that may be the thing that has kept you stuck. Sometimes when I'm saying you're treading water, because people are sending you yucky energy and shit like that. And it's like, it's where you're at. If you could just, I had this conversation too. I've had several conversations with a lot of people lately, where this is like resonating. But it's, if you try to ghost, like, you know, like, they don't want you to do better. They don't want you to make progress. They don't want you to go have fun. And so these very same people may be the thing that keeps you stuck, because they send you yuck energy, and they keep yuck energy around you, and you're like, I've got to get out of this environment. Birds can be all about the gossip. It's like, you're cutting something out. You're cutting that out. And if somebody has something poo-poo to say, cut them off. Cut them off. Don't listen to them. Follow your heart. I feel like whoever this is, for some of you, there is, okay, we're going to get real serious, okay? This is not going to be for everybody. This is obviously for somebody very specific. The person that wants to, that's the snake, that's going to try to create and poo-poo on your situation, and maybe try to talk shit about you, or create issues with you because you do what you got to do when you fucking move. They were very abusive, because that's what this is. This can be like self-abuse, self-neglect, like disparaging and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like this may have been, especially in the child scenario, this may have been somebody that you once loved, or this could be family members. But whatever it is, they're fairly like, they're the snake, okay? And they're known to do this. Like, they talk shit. They fucking talk shit, and that's pretty much all it is. But I feel like, no, that's not all it is, because I feel like there's also been some type of abusive dynamic before. We won't go in depth with that, but it's like, you've got to get out of this environment and away from it in order to succeed. So whether you have children or not, there may be somebody in here that the whole point is to get away from that. And you'll like even when they're not doing something, it feels like this energy doesn't do shit when you're not doing well. They're okay with that. When you're stuck and they feel like they're doing better than you, whether it's a family member, an ex, a co-parenting situation, a work environment, whatever it is, as long as this other, they feel like they've got the one up, they're good. But if you try to break those chains, they're not good. So there's gonna be a lot of shit. But it's like, but whoever this is, it's like they have an impact at a very strong energetic level, because we've got the birds, which is like a soul connection, that's gonna be severed once and for all. So it's like, I feel like they have an energetic tether or tie to you, to some degree. And it's like, you're doing your best. Like, you know, when people try to siphon your energy, and they use you as their come up, their way of feeling better, that's a, you know what I'm saying? And so this person, they're emotionally abusive, very emotionally abusive. They are deceitful. They are a snake. And they are a part of what has kept you stuck. But this situation is going to allow you, and that might be why whoever is listening, when I'm talking about this, the one thing your ego wants to point to is that person, that group of people, that situation, right? And it's like, yeah, but there's legit, like we've not been able to get away from it thus far. What makes us think that we're going to be able to do it now? And it's picking out all the times and all the reasons why you wouldn't be able to escape it. And they're like, if you just say yes, the answer to the self-entrapment, the answer to the positive resolution to this conflict is in the saying yes. It is in this new offer, because something's in it for you. So be a little more objective. Don't allow this fear mongering that your ego is doing to Queen of Air. Be very objective with it's going to be successful. Okay. And it's like, and then we have the moon. You've got to get out. Like the more I read, the more like I got stories, guys, for this kind of stuff. So I'm like, I can reflect. It is definitely going. I know I said it was gonna be very specific, but it's going places with this. Like they're being very, very detailed right now. Oh my gosh, they just showed me something. Lord of abandoned success. So when how we said you're walking away from something, also, and like some of that shit was just empty, it wasn't for you, or it's no longer, you know what I'm saying? In this, they also have two very specific cups that are filled. It's like you're walking away from the things that didn't have something for you, but it's like abandoned success. Like you may have in the past consistently walked away from opportunities that spirit has presented you. Whoa, we're getting, oh, I get it. You've walked away from opportunities that spirit has presented to you because of this exact same thing. The ego chiming in and going like, how's that fuck that gonna happen? How's that exactly gonna happen? Because X, Y, and Z, da, da, da. And you have it's like it's a self-imposed entrapment. In saying yes to the opportunities, the positive resolution to this situation will be presented. That's why we've got because the Four of Cups, remember, there's opportunity being presented by spirit. And in some of the Four Cup traditional depictions, they're ignoring the three and they don't even like, they're just like, it's not even an option to them, the one that spirit presents them with. So you have literally turned your back on having success before, whether you want to admit it or not. You've turned your back on having success before because of this fear. The funny thing is, this whole reading started out going, old thought patterns are going to come up when this presents itself. Your ego's still going to try to throw the same dumb shit from the past into the future and see what sticks to the wall. Your energy's different. Two of Swords, you see both truths. You know you've got to get out of here, and you know that you can't stay. Like your intuition is going, despite whatever chimes in right now, I don't feel a resistance. You're going to give it a go. You're going to trust it. All the times before you didn't. And yes, with the 180, you're like, this is massively starting over. This is seriously like, I don't know how this is going to, like, I don't know nothing about what I'm about to step into. And I do get, for some people, like, I still get the travel. I still get that. And somebody may definitely not want you to go, or will say something about it, or will try to, whether it's your work. Like I said earlier, I felt like somebody was like, I'll fucking quit. Like, I don't know. Like, this is like you're not playing with this. And you may feel like pulled in so many different directions, but you're the Queen of Pentacles. You got this shit. You've got it. And there may be a mixture of excitement and anxiety with this, but you're doing it just the same. I'm going to look something up about this because I keep trying to hit on the word, and it's like I see a word blurred out, and I'm like, oh, what is it? What is it? And Spirit's just like, look it up. Because like the traditional, like there's several different things that can come from this, but there's also some little nuanced meanings that come with the moon. And I'm like, why am I blanking on that? So I'm just going to look it up instead of, because apparently I'm missing it. If they're going to tell me to look it up, they're like, you're just don't try to fight it. Just look it up. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. It's a Lenormand. And the reason I know is because I was like, ooh, like I periodically go back through my cards and read things and look at interpretations. And I can see scenarios, as I live my life. I'm like, ooh, this could pan out like this. Like, so I am a forever student when it comes to tarot and how that expresses the story for people. Hey, LP. And we've got to wrap this up very soon. So I'm going to say this. So it's recognition. It's like the Six of Wands, right? Oh my fucking God. I'm reading through it and I'm like, it's the same shit. That's what I was thinking. It's the same shit. It's what I was thinking. It's the same shit. And I about shit a fucking brick. The moon. Timing. The Lenormand moon indicates the new moon, which we just fucking had last night. And I am chills down my body, bitches. Chills. Or within 1 month of the new moon. They're giving it, They're giving us a timing. That's why they're being very matter of fact. They're literally giving us a play by play. Oh shit! No wonder they wouldn't. I wouldn't have said that, guys. I would have not said that with this. No wonder, like, just look it up. Just look it up. You'll get it once you see it. You'll fucking get it. We just fucking had the new moon last night. The new moon in Aquarius. It's the first new moon of 2023. It is the lunar new year. Yesterday, last night, into today. I feel like saying from that point within a month, somebody's going to be faced with this situation. Wow. Okay, I got to be honest with you. Of all the times I do timing, those are the times that I trust it the most because I was hella resistant. I'm like, I can't figure it out. What it is? It's like they wanted very pointedly to say something. And me not getting it was not going to cut it. And me guessing and trying to pull it, they're like, you're not going to get this one. Just look it up. Look at this one. And then when I go, you know how it is. Y'all have ever looked at a book and you read something and it hit home like you're like something landed? You're like, shit. That's what it feels like. When you come across, you're like, this is the same. You saw me reading for a minute. I was like, I'm not saying that out loud because that's exactly what I just said. Because all the other shit was like, I was like, okay. What's that got to do with anything? It was like intuition. I already said that, spirit. It was success. It was fame, recognition. I'm like, okay, we know that. And then I come across, I'm like, whoa. Okay. So they needed to have this conversation because obviously your brain is going to automatically resort back to its old shit where the ego tries to go. We've got things that prevent us. This false sense of entrapment for you. This, however, in saying yes to this, whatever you felt like grounded you in, it removes those obstacles. The reason you didn't act on this before, these quote unquote opportunities, as it was because, and those opportunities may show up in different forms. Like it feels like spirit has been trying to move you out of this and retransplant you somewhere else for quite some time, for at least a little while. And when those opportunities arise, and they've all looked different, but they were all an opportunity to do such, you dug your heels into, I can't because this, and this. And I feel like something's about to pop up. Either exceptionally soon because we just had the new moon, or within this next month. That has everything to do with that will impact your material world, your work. And because of that, complete 180. You might feel pulled in a million directions. The one thing you're not going to do is let the snake in the grass fearmonger you into saying no. I have no doubt the motherfucker will try to say shit. They'll try to say shit to you behind your back. But what this is going to do is cut this fucking soul. This is the kind of, it's like a karmic type of energy that has latched on and has been siphoning your energy. And this could be a multitude of people. This is why your environment's so toxic. This is the reason why where you're at. This could be the people, like the community, as well as the family. Like this could be a multitude because we see a bunch of fucking people. It's getting you out. It's getting you out. And remember I told you when they get very pointedly and they give us like foresight, like they're really predicting something here. Like it ain't just let's have a conversation and you need to work through this and this could come if you would do this. It ain't that. It's this shit's about to happen. And remember when I said that, I feel like they're just saying, we're just giving you a heads up. FYI. And sometimes that's important. Sometimes those types of readings, I always preach like we need to look, I want to help you put you in the driver's seat. But sometimes, all those readers who only give you future events so that you're aware, that's important too. Everybody plays a part, right? Alrighty, guys. That is the message. That is the fucking message. If you need to, rewatch it. Because sometimes we're just keeping up and it's like other nuggets will come through. When you rewatch, you're like, okay. Again, as always, my PSA is this. There are 7 billion people on this planet. I cannot read for every single one of them. And not every single reading that I do is going to be for you. So if you're having to jump through hoops to Cinderella this shit, leave it. If the scenario of knowing that you've got to get the fuck out of a certain environment in order to flourish because you're treading water, good indication that there's something in the reading for you. If at any point something happens and you think back to this reading, come back and revisit it. Okay? Because sometimes it don't make sense right now. And you may not be picking up on the fact that you need to be transplanted. But also, if during this reading, your ego kept giving a list of reasons why that couldn't happen because X, Y, and Z, it probably is for you. So, alrighty. Let me give a shout out to. I'm going to send something to some people. Manishka, LP, Peter, Kelsey, David, Shruti, trying to think, is there anybody else to join in for an after party? Okay. Those are the ones that we've connected with and said something about that before. So I've already got it scheduled on Zoom. If you don't have Zoom, you might want to go ahead and create a link or create an account really quick. Within the next 10 minutes, I'll send you the link. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to make me a matcha because this coffee's not kicking it. If you want to join, come over there and join. And we're going to do our little processing stuff over there to have a conversation about some things. Okay. So, just be on the lookout. Pay attention to your Instagram, guys. Okay. All right. Love y'all. Thank you for joining. Hope it was beneficial. You'll have a great day.